Hello and welcome to CIO News. I am Khushbu Soni, your host for the broadcast and editor-chief at CIO News. This is our exclusive fireside chat powered by Goto. And this is a recorded session which will be available on our website, that is cionews.co.in, and our CIO News LinkedIn handle. It is my privilege to invite our guest for today. We have Mr. Dnyaneshwar Gaikwad, the Executive Vice President and Chief Information Officer at Edelweiss Financial Services. Dnyaneshwar is a digital business transformation leader with 20 plus years of experience in digital IT infrastructure, enterprise applications development, change management, information security, and IT governance and compliance. He has the ability to transform traditional business into digital ones using the potential of cloud, new age architecture, low-code, no-code, and data platforms. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you today on this platform, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this class.
Pleasure is mine.
Great. I'm also accompanied by Triveni Rabindraraj, the India sales head from Goto. Triveni has 21 plus years of experience across business development, strategic alliance, and people management. Triveni has worked with brands such as Wipro, Dun & Bradstreet, Citi, and many more. Triveni, good to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks, Khushbu, and looking forward to great conversations, Dnyaneshwar. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Fantastic. I want to begin with putting across my first question to you, Dnyaneshwar. Given the demands of today's distributed workforce, it's become very imperative to scale up and arm the IT teams with the right tools. Wanted to understand what have been the demands from your IT ecosystem on this front.
Absolutely. I mean, COVID hit us right, and it is an event that nobody anticipated, right? And it has forced us to change the way that we work, we operate, we live. And there are some things that got changed for some period, but there are some things that got changed permanently, right? And midst of all these things, I think enterprises also have evolved, and they also have their working strategy in place. Some organizations have gone completely work from home. Some have gone hybrid. Some have started the old things again. So for us, I think we have adopted the hybrid work culture here. Yeah. And as you said, that to hybrid work culture, remote support is a paramount of importance. And the reason, because the people that they do not see each other, they do not sit on the same floor, right? They do not have easy access to the technologies and tools, correct? So in this environment, if one has to work efficiently, effectively, then I think having effective remote support plan is must. Otherwise, nowadays the people who use applications and the technologies, they are very tech savvy people, right? So most of the basic stuff they are aware of. It is not that and the generation today is very, very smart on the technology side. So they will come to you only when there is an issue which they are not able to understand or solve, and that really requires a technical expertise to solve. Right. And to enable an engineer or a support personnel to handle that, I think remote solution is the must. Mm-hmm. So we also have remote solutions, and there is not one, we have many because there are multiple requirements and basis that we deploy a solution to the businesses. So I think to answer your question, yes, in the current circumstances, remote support is something which is a paramount of importance.
Khushbu, if I may add, I think Dnyaneshwar, you touched upon very critical things, right? I think one other thing, what we are seeing is that there is a bit of a, skill gap, right? Especially when it comes to the service desk engineers, because especially
Correct.
before pandemic, the kind of issues that they had is very different to the one that they have today, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. And like you rightly said, the people today or our employees today are much more tech savvy than
Yeah,
service desk engineers are. So I think
correct.
that is something we are seeing, the organizations also invest in, because the service desk technicians of the yesteryears, they are more used to remoting into traditional, PC. But today we've moved beyond PC,
It's become
mobile
application now.
applications, exactly,
Correct.
servers, and even, laptops, mobile, and these two are becoming very, very common, right? And what we see is most of the, or some of the service desk technicians really struggle to do the diagnostics when it comes to these devices.
Right.
Correct.
Right. And also, Triveni, on that, if you can add, in fact, while you've been interacting with a lot of technology leaders, what have been the top priorities when considering these remote support solutions?
Yeah. So I think the first and foremost, the Dnyaneshwar rightly said, the landscape for the remote support itself has changed, right? Like salespeople like us used
Yeah,
to
it has
say,
evolved. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Earlier, it used to be a good to have tool. It was like, okay, because like he said, we had the technicians sitting in the same building. There is an issue, you run up to the third floor, sort out the
Correct.
issue, right? But it's not that anymore. People like some companies have gone completely remote, but most of the companies are still hybrid. So you still have employees probably coming to office Monday, Tuesday, one set of employees, the other set coming on Tuesday, Thursday. So, it's become complex, right? Because it's not one place anymore. So the first and the foremost is that we've seen the shift is that remote support is no more a good to have. It's a must to have solution, one. And out of all that, the priority has become security, right? I think security has been one of the topmost requirements. Like earlier, also when we were selling before pandemic, security was more like a check in the box, right? We had to give some security certificates, etc., and we were done with it. But now we see more and more involvement of the CISO team for any kind of application purchase that's been made. So obviously, because we've moved out of the perimeter of office and out of internet, people are using public Wi-Fi at homes again, which is shared between spouses, or it's a shared Wi-Fi network. So all these are opening up a Pandora of security challenges, and we are seeing also it's become like a field day for the malicious actors to get in. And remote support is one of the tools malicious actors use to get into our environment, right? So I think that is one of the biggest change that we've seen, the security becoming more and more. Especially in obviously finance and healthcare was always very security conscious, but I think it's become even more stringent because like say for example, you have underwriters and all working from home now, right? And such high level confidential data, etc. So so one of the things that we always kept ask is, do you store PII level data, etc., because those things should not even be accessible through these tools. The other thing is, how do you really know, right, with all this moonlighting, etc., going on, how do you really know that your employee is your employee who's getting access, right? So again, things like SSO, multi-factor authentication, I think the identity and access management has become a big issue, and also there's a lot of emphasis on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dnyaneshwar. I think.
No, absolutely bang on. I think I just want to add the stuff here. I mean, giving a secure access to a tool, anyway, the organization have cracked 10 years ago now,
Yeah.
right? The real challenge would come, and I will add to what you said, is the problem when we exchange content, right?
Yeah.
When you are giving access to somebody who you don't even know, you're not seen, you don't even know where he operates from, right? You don't even know his identity. And I think data privacy has become a really challenge.
Yeah.
Right. So security will anyway will be managed, right? The perimeter security, and then there are security at the laptop level, the network level, and the various application level securities are there. So they will be able to handle that. But when it comes to peeping into the information, right? You don't even know somebody whom you are sharing your desktop, and he has access to all your files. Literally, whatever you have been, and I mean, he's authorized to do whatever you are supposed and whatever you can do, right? So, so in my view, I think this is the biggest problem. So, and the users completely transport to the support personal side activities. He doesn't even know, if he's doing something or he's, as you said, underwriting, the compromising, whether his documents are getting compromised, right? And there's a breach, confidentiality breach that can happen. So I think there are, uh, very honestly, I have been looking for solutions across industry, and nobody has solved this problem, because these are the problems uh, which are fundamental. Like if you the moment you have access and somebody is able to see from his eye, right? How will you kind of stop that? Uh, you know, Otherwise he will not be able to solve the problem, right?
Yeah.
So these are real challenges. So for me, security is, I think it's all about data privacy, and not the secure access to the information, because literally once you get into his machine, you have access to everything that he had. Correct?
Yeah.
Right, fantastic. I mean, I think we touched upon the key importance of evaluating and the right features for the remote support and the must-haves, right? Um, we understand the priorities of the solution that is required, and that is one half of the challenge, we all know. And the other half is actually getting enough adoption to meet the ROI standards. So, Dnyaneshwar, what are your driving forces when it comes to achieving optimal ROI of technologies?
Honestly, I think ROI will never become a challenge for adopting any remote IT solution. And I think even more than ROI, there are two, three things that I grapple. And as one of the things that I said about data privacy, which I just now spoke about. Second thing is this platform independence is also bothers me sometimes, because today we use devices of all color and size and make, right? Many a times these solutions do not work efficiently on a small size devices like mobile. In fact, this is one of the problems that I have been trying to solve. Let's say if you want to give a remote support on a mobile because of its screen size and stuff, it becomes very difficult for person to give access also, and for person to get into his mobile and troubleshoot various issues. So I think this is one area that I've been trying to solve from my organization, and I think I'm happy to hear from the panel if they have anything on that. Uh, Third thing I think is on the user efficiency. I think the solutions have to be easy and convenient, uh, uh, like the way Microsoft has done it, right? They have quick access, which is integrated with their operating system. You just go to the start menu, click on quick access, and you're able to share your screen. Something of this sort, if it is integrated with the operating system, it will integrate with your browser, easily accessible to the people, right? And easy to operate. There are not too many technical things that they have to do. Something of this sort, I think, is my third. And last but not the least is tool, because now there's content is being shared, people are collaborating over it, right? There's a lot of video content which is goes across, and in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, I've always had this bandwidth problems, correct? So this tool has to work on a low bandwidth also. So these are three, four things that if I think the tool is taking care, I think then ROI doesn't become an issue.
Triveni, you would like to add?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like he rightly pointed, the third point was, easy access and use, right? I think that is one of the biggest thing, because nobody has that much time to go through, a tough tool, or like I said, even that there is a huge skill gap. So we need tools that will be plug and play, right?
Easily accessible, yeah.
Easily accessible. So I think, and the others like the browser-based experiences, integration is one thing that we're seeing a lot, and especially in one of the researches that Frost and Sullivan did, it was told that consolidation and integration is something that's going to be the biggest
Right.
agenda for the CIOs, especially this year, right? Considering the economic headwinds that we are looking at. So, so that piece becomes important. Like, say, I can speak for remote support, right? If you're using the remote support solution, how well is it sort of getting integrated with your ITSM tool, right? You don't want a separate one because it should be a part of your ITSM suite.
Integration has to be seamless. It should not, jump from
Exactly.
one application
Yeah,
to another application, from one platform to other platform. It
absolutely.
should not happen like that. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So in case whatever ticketing tool you're using, how well is it for how well is it able to get integrated with the ticketing tool? Or say, for example, if you're using, like, say, Teams or Slack as your instant messaging platform, are you able to even integrate this remote support on that platform? Can it sit on it? So those kind of stuff is becoming very important. Mobile support is another thing, like you mentioned, right? Because today more and more people are dependent on the mobile phones, right? Because I think
Right.
all the official applications that we use are all there on the mobile phone, right? Like I
They're
use.
platform agnostic, right? Anybody with access can on any device now.
Exactly. So it has to be on the go. So are the tools, mobile, easy to use on the mobile? Are the apps lighter to use? Obviously, because it should not take a higher bandwidth,
Exactly.
and you should not be dependent on, desktop applications, but it should be more browser based, which is accessible anywhere. So I think cloud and SaaS definitely comes in handy. And today we are seeing, really thanks to pandemic, the opportunity for cloud and SaaS has opened up, because the adaptability of SaaS comes in handy than any on-prem kind of solutions, right? Because it's very easy, it is adaptable, and today all the SaaS and cloud providers are also looking at security and how important it is, right? Because of the given challenges. The other bit with ROI is, what we normally recommend is, even before you make the purchase, if you could have a couple of parameters in terms of what do you want as
Just
an
criteria,
outcome.
basically.
Yes, absolutely. What outcomes do you want from this tool? And that has to be mutually agreed upon with the service providers or with the OEMs. It becomes easy for both the parties to measure it, and obviously having a dedicated customer success team help in adoption, training, whatever, and also reviewing these parameters, usage, giving those nuggets of information to people like Dnyaneshwar, so that it helps them to review the ROI, etc. Right? Because there's always a CFO sitting out there asking us to justify the purchase, right? So I think these would be definitely some of the important features.
Honestly, CFO doesn't have a choice.
Oh, trust me, they do. At least they try to. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
True, true that. Great conversation. I think we touched upon a lot of aspects. Dnyaneshwar, my one last question for you is, for the future of working, any last thoughts that you would like to share, your best practices or your vision for our viewers?
Future of working, you are saying, right?
Right, and considering the remote support requirements and the dynamics of the market changes.
Very honestly, I mean, the tool, the remote support as a concept is going to evolve, right? And if you ask me honestly, I feel that this remote support business itself is going to get disrupted. The reason, because people are becoming more tech savvy, right? There are, the AIs and MLs are coming into the picture. People are now dependent on bots. So basically, we have also implemented bot for the remote support. Many are tickets that used to, needed a support person's bandwidth now are automated and then basically are answered on the go. Correct. So this is ever evolving, right? There is no one tool or one solution that will fit the the bill, and you can't be saying that you are buying a tool and that will help your company for next 10 years. Okay, it's a ever evolving phenomena. It will keep evolving, and with this AI and ML coming into picture, I think there'll be, and this cloud and the way the applications are moving to the SaaS platforms, right? So if everything becomes SaaS, then why do you need support and why would you even get into somebody's laptop or desktop or something of that sort, correct? So I think it will be interesting to see how this pans out, and it is too early to comment. And I think there are industry players and the thought leaders there anyway working on these ideas. So let's see, let's wait and watch.
Sure, great. Fantastic conversation once again. Thank you so much for joining on the CIO News platform and sharing all your journeys, learnings with us. Thank you, Triveni, for being part of the discussion once again.
Thanks, Khushbu. Thanks, Dnyaneshwar. It was a great conversation.
Pleasure talking to you.
Same here. Thank you.